Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily here to talk to you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd things. So, it's another episode review. It's our actual first episodic review of SSSS.Gridman. It's fun to say it like that. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. So, deal with it. I'll probably say it like that every week. Now, you are getting 2 videos today because I accidentally forgot to upload the slime video. I did record it. I just forgot to upload it. So, hopefully that doesn't happen again. I can't promise anything because I'm a sleepy mess. But, you know, here we are. We're doing it. Doing the thing. Keeping it on the schedule. Got another video coming out. So that is 4 videos a week. Sorry. Math, for some reason, was really strange for my brain for a second. Anyway, let's get into the review. So, as always, if you haven't actually watched this week's episode, definitely go and do that before watching this video, because otherwise, spoiler. We're reviewing episode 6, just in case anybody is curious. It's called Contact. So let's get into it. Spoiler warnings have happened, so if you go anywhere past here, it's not my fault. So we open up in the classroom. In the classroom, it's Kane, it's Yuta, it's Rika, they're friends, but Sho's not there. I think his name is Sho. I've totally spaced on his name. Of course, all the times I've restarted this video, I could have looked it up, but I didn't. That's fine. We're going to call him Sho for now. So, he's not there because he's attending a funeral service for a relative. Yuta is having inner dialogue because of what was said to him by Kane in the last episode, which was, "You're transforming, right?" And he doesn't know what that means. It could mean anything. Maybe she didn't mean anything by it. Maybe she is like him, and her memories aren't resetting. I mean, he doesn't suspect anything about her, which I guess is the point up to this point. Rika's just talking to their friends, and she leaves because it's an early day. Yuta leaves. He wanted to talk to Rika, but he didn't. But then he tries to go look for her, and he can't find her because she's doing her own things. First she goes home, then she realizes she doesn't want to just stick around at home, and so she goes off and does the shopping trip. Yuta goes looking for her at her shop. She's not there, and continues to go looking for her. Kane goes home. Kane goes home, and she runs into Auntie. A-N-T-I, because I know how it sounds when I say it. And I think they pronounce it like Anji on the show, but I don't think so. There's a T there. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. He's like, "I'm here to listen and do whatever you need." And she's like, "Okay, you're going to go kill this guy." She shows him a picture of you, and he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm only here to defeat Gridman." She's like, "But this is Gridman. This is who transforms into Gridman. If you kill him, you win. And I'll get you food because I haven't fed you because I'm a terrible human being." She doesn't say that last part. That's just me adding on to it. She's a terrible human being. So, moving on. Anji goes looking for him and realizes he can't find Yuta. And he starts to listen to his stomach because he's super hungry because, as mentioned before, Kane hasn't fed him because he failed her. And refuses to listen or do anything other than try to fight Gridman, even though she wants him to do other things. Failure. So, he runs into Rika. Or Rika runs into him. She's like, "Hey, remember when we met previously? She's like, 'You sound hungry. Let me feed you.'" She feeds him. And then she realizes that he doesn't bathe, and so she takes him home to bathe him. Meanwhile, Yuta has run into another girl, like a little kid, and he gets this strange feeling that he knows her. And so he's like, "I'm sorry, do I know you? I have amnesia, so I don't quite remember." And she's like, "Of course you know me. I'm a kaiju." And he's like, "What? This seems like not possible, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna go now." And then she gets really big. Like, she doesn't turn into a monster. She just increases her form and proves that she is a kaiju. She's like, "Come on, let's go have a meal on me." Like, she's really friendly for a kaiju, which is really throwing Yuta off, but he figures he's in some kind of danger if he doesn't go, so he goes. Also, it's a weird just thing, and I don't know. So he goes and he has a meal with this girl. Meanwhile, while that's happening, boop, Sho, which maybe that's his name, maybe it's not, runs into a Kane at a comic book shop, and they both get talking about kaiju because he's reading a kaiju magazine, and he's like, "Oh, you like kaiju? That's so cool. I like kaiju. We got a lot in common." And really, he feels, because he's super into her, and so that's fun. Like, you know, and being that he's kind of like the outcast nerd in class, I bet it feels really good that the girl that he likes is into some of the same things that he is and wants to talk to him about it. So they actually go out to a cafe. We'll get back to that because the episode zooms back over to Yuta in the park eating. Jump, jump, jump. And we discover that all the Neon Genesis junior high students are actually shadowing a member of the main cast. Caliber is watching Rika, Boar is watching Sho, and Max is watching Yuta. The other one, whose name escapes me, is actually just hanging out at Rika's shop, which is interesting. I guess his job is to shadow the mom. So, the kaiju girl is like, "Come on, let's go ride the train now. I want to ride outside of town." He's like, "Oh, I just, went outside of town like the other day on a field trip." She's like, "No, you didn't, because there's nothing outside of town. It's all an illusion, you know?" He's like, "No, I don't know." She's like, You'll figure it out. You'll find out." So they get on the train. Like, there's stuff happening with Anji and Rika. She gives him a bath, which is really a weird scene in my opinion. He actually lets Thrill that he's looking for Yuta, but as he's doing that, water goes over his head. He has no kind of social graces, of course, and so it all gets muddled up and she doesn't hear it. Yep. And Kane and Sho are at a cafe having a drink, and she's trying to, like, get Sho to confirm for sure that Yuta is Gridman. She's, like, being real fucking cagey about it. She's like, "He's changed, hasn't he? Like, really changed? Like, really, really changed? Like, really, really changed?" And he's like, And he's thinking he should tell her, because she's noticing something, but he decides to be a good friend. Because you don't go around telling your friends secrets to other people, even if they're really hot girls who you want to date. Like, that's just, I get it. Like, I would probably tell my wife anything she asked me about anybody because I really love her. But, so I understand the reason he went through that bit of a struggle, but he's a good friend. So, moving on. And he's like, we're still friends, and he seems fine, so, he's got a ninja, so of course, there's a little bit of a difference, but he's still Yuta. And she's like, fine. And she leaves. We also get a shot of Alexis back at Kane's house, and he's like, worried about a Kane. Maybe she's not going to make any kaiju today. Herg. Like, he's grumpy about it. So back to Yuta, because we went through all the boring parts. He's on the train, and he starts falling asleep on it. Kaiju girl, not falling asleep. She puts her earphones on him and wakes him up, and he realizes that there's a lot of gas around them. Nothing's happening. Like, they're not going anywhere. And she's like, this world doesn't exist. It's actually all created by a Kane. She's basically a goddess to you people. And every day she creates kaiju to wreck the city, and she uses kaiju to put it back together and reset it. That's what she does. And she's been doing this for a long time. She's done it so long, she's gotten very twisted about it, and now she's a heartless person, doesn't care about what she does. She's like, oh, and all the targets of the kaiju attacks are people she doesn't like, people that she feels should be dead. And you're just like, whoa, this is fucked. This is really fucked. It's a Kane? Like, really? What? Like, yeah. So, big spoiler right there. Like, you should have listened to me if you didn't Well, that's spoiled for you. But, yeah. It's like, goddess, and only you can stop her, because only you can turn into Gridman. So he's like, oh, that's heavy. That's a lot to put on me. Oh, shit. But he's like, I mean, I gotta do it. I understand that. Cool. So, we get off the train. He's like, hey, if you're a kaiju, why aren't you on her side? And she's like, oh, I came way before her and her shit, so she has no control over me. He's like, oh, well, you know, thanks for telling me. She's like, it's the least I could do. It's signifying that something major happened between her and Yuta, or Yuta and her predecessor, and so she kind of owes him one, is how she frames it. And it's neat. Then he gets off the train, walks away, and is confronted by Anji. He's like, I found you, you're done, Gridman. He like really is going to go fucking ham. Thank goodness that Max is nearby, ready to do the defend. So there's a bit of a scuffle between Anji, Max, and Caliber. Like, it's pretty dope. Good animation, nice choreography, good fight. And so Max is like, this is just a human, but if you do kill him, you don't get the chance to fight Gridman and beat him, so you don't want to kill this guy. Yeah. He's like, no, that's Gridman. He's like, no, it's not. It's a human, but. And Anji doesn't know what to do, gets confused, runs away. Which only leads to another phone being thrown at him, because he tells the king, no, I didn't find Gridman. And he's very specific. He's like, I didn't find Gridman. And she's like, you didn't get it, and I knew you wouldn't. And that's how the episode ends, with a big shot of Alexis on top of Kane's house. So I guess he's just not driving the computer. Apparently, according to Kaiju Girl, he's an outside force warping Kane. So maybe she's not as horrible as she is. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it turns into a we gotta save a Kane from herself sort of thing and this other monster. Whew. And that's the episode. I really like the character development. I thought it was a really interesting story, even without kaiju, but it did take a little wind out of my sails, because I did want to talk about the designs of each kaiju every week. So hopefully there'll be a freaking kaiju next week, and we can talk about how cool the design is. Like, most of the Gridman designs have been really interesting and very original. So, it's very fun. What are we talking about? As you already know, if you watched the slime video, but if you haven't, we're not talking about Zombieland Saga, like I said we were at the end of Doctor Who. We're talking about the previews for January. Comics that are coming out in January that you're not going to want to miss. So definitely tune into this channel and we'll talk about it. So until next time, enjoy comics, enjoy cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!